All right, the Seattle Seahawks get a double dose of good news. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to teams that kind of get overlooked by the national media, and the Seahawks are one of the teams that we cover. We cover 5-6 teams on here, and ever since you traded Russ, we've really just kind of rooted for you a little bit on the side. Not rooted, but, just kind of like, man, I hope they do well, because Russ, he's weird, and you did. So here it is. Good news. PFF comes out with your strengths and weaknesses from a year ago. And it's really interesting to look at this. So first good news is your biggest weakness was offensive line. That's good news because if you can get that right, you've got the skill players, you've got the quarterback, it's all there. But offensive line is just too important to not be good at. So the offensive line ranked 26th in pass blocking grade and lost 6 of its 10 games in which they earned a sub 66 PFF passing grade. It's just hard to win when you can't protect. Like, duh. Hello. What are we doing here? They'll hope for a healthier season from Charles Cross and the infusion of talent in first-round pick Gray Zabel, but the unit could be a concern once again in 2025. I don't think so. I think they would have addressed it more if they thought it needed to be addressed. This Seattle front office is not dumb. And to think that they're like, well, you know what? I don't know. It's just not going to work. We got 4 guys that can't play, but we're only going to get 1 guy. I think Zabel moves in. Cross gets healthier. Other guys, here's your Oluwatimi, like, let's go. Seriously. Need you, man. Bradford and Oluwatimi, what do you got? We really need you. And that's just the bottom line. And to say that those guys won't get any better would be hard to believe. You're good on the tackles. Zabel steps right in. Oluwatimi, come on. So the good news is you can only go up. You were right outside the playoffs last year with a really bad offensive line. Hopefully they get better. Let's go. That's good news number 1. Good news number 2. Your biggest strength in 2024 was your offensive skill position players. And it's easy to make the argument, good news number 2, that you even got better at the skill position players. You saw in the thumbnail, Kenneth Walker. This is hard for me. I'm a Michigan fan. He went to Michigan State. He is really good. And what happens when you have these off seasons where you do a lot of turnover and a lot of change, the Seattle Seahawks had a ton of this, you forget or don't think about or don't talk about some of your core players that are going into year 2, year 3, year 4, going into their absolute prime. We love talking about the new guys and the changes, of course, and that makes sense that we do. But it's like, wait a second. Kenneth Walker going into his prime. Zach Charbonnet, 1-2 punch here. You look at what the Lions have with their running back duo and how incredibly successful it is. You have to have 2. We're in the running game now is so important. That's why we talk about the offensive line, of course, but you've got the running backs to do it. The running game is so important because we know that explosives were the thing for about 10 years. Oh man, you get explosive plays. What are we doing? Why are we trying to go down the field? Let's go over the top. So then defense is like, oh, can't have that happen. Teams are really wanting to do that. Let's go too high safety. You're not getting explosives on us. It's too big of a play. We're not letting it happen. So now teams are coming back on the other side. Okay, we will just get 4 yards, 5 yards a pop then, and we will eat clock, and then we will score. That is the perfect, analytics would say, that's the perfect way to run offense. Eat clock and then score 7. Yes, every time you'll take a 1-play 65-yard touchdown, you'll take that every time. But the ideal way is because if you eat clock and then score your touchdown, you've now limited the other team's possessions. And now their margin for error has shrunk because instead of them getting 12 more possessions, they're down to 9 possessions. Then they don't score. Then you get it. You eat clock and score. Now they're down to 6 possessions left. They have to score touchdowns, and so that's it. So I'm going on this because your offensive skill position players, we forgot about your running backs. We're just not talking about them. DK Metcalf, I've talked about him a lot on this channel. Should have been better. For some reason, he's not as good as he should be. He's a physical specimen. So then when he does make a really good play, you're kind of like, dude, this guy, I love this guy, man. I might get his jersey. And then he disappears for a game, for 2 games. And it's just, okay, goodbye. So what do? You bring in Cooper Kupp, who completely different players. But Cooper Kupp literally gets separation and as productive as can be. Okay, thank you. I'll take that. Tyler Lockett. Man, nothing but just thank you, Tyler Lockett, for everything that you did. You're just older now. We had to move on from you. Jackson Smith and Jigba. But Tyler Lockett and Valdez-Scantling at this stage in their career and kind of what we got going on, they're not that much different. So it's like, okay. So this drop off and this like really good offensive skill position players isn't going to change much. And if anything, going into their prime, new offense, new quarterback, nothing but good things there. So you go down, you take a look here at your offense. Again, from an outsider's perspective, just look at your offense. Sam Darnold played against them last year against the Vikings 2 times in the division. He's big. He's mobile. Strong arm. I don't know where he was for the last 10 years before that, but it's like, this is a good player, man. Sam Darnold. You would take him over 15 other QBs in the league. You can win games with him. Walker prime, Charbonnet prime. Cooper Kupp wants to prove everybody wrong this year that he was let go by the Rams. Valdez-Scantling's got 1 more year in him. It's just like, give me something, man. Jackson Smith and Jigba going into his prime. Noah Fant, good enough. Offensive line, give me something. It's up to you guys. I mean, it just is, right? Then you go defensively, though. Holy smokes. Defensively, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, sup. Ernest Jones, let's go. Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon. Look at your secondary. Remember, when you traded for Ernest Jones, your defense changed and never looked back. So I just don't see the holes. Once you start looking at it, it's like, man, the offensive line. That is the good news, is that if that can get any better, the Seahawks win the division. It's a tough division. The Niners are going to be better. The Rams are just annoying. Man, they're annoying. We should have talked about this at the beginning of the video. I wish more people were around for this, because Sean McVay, you're not that good of a coach, man. I don't, it's just, can we just all admit that? You're just you're a good coach. You're a good coach. That's what you are. It is like this dude is just like, they talk about him in the media like he's invented football. Like he's inventing plays that we've never seen. And then Stafford, dude, love that you're getting the attention that you deserve. You're a great player, but his wife is so annoying. I don't know if you've ever seen that or watched that. Just, you'll see it now. You'll notice it now that I'm saying it. To the point where it's just like, dude, I just can't do it. So McVay, they're just like this team that's doing things that we've never seen. It's like, no, they're not. I'm watching. We're stopping them. Like, what are we doing? So go beat them, please. Just beat the crap out of them. Okay, let me know your thoughts. We'll see all of you on the next one.